Did you know inside of Wolverine's mind that it's revealed that one of Wolverine's fetishes includes Jessica Jones? Wolverine, what be in your mind? Remember that sick guy known as Purple Man in her live action series? Yeah, he's just as sick in the comics, trying to make her expose herself and crap, torturing and mind controlling Jessica. Like, yo, these comics can get dark. Yeah, Purple Man is sadistic. Like, this is a villain power. Like, he can make people do what he wants. Jessica Jones has above average strength, but how strong? Well, she's strong enough to break handcuffs, carries drying machines, a whole fridge. Even when she's tied up to a chair, she can bust out with her muscle. Even with chains on her, toss around mailboxes, coffee tables, muscle, can move or toss rubble way more than her own body size. Yep, she can fly, by the way. And she's getting dog popped by a whole bunch of people. She can lift them up and it doesn't slow her down from flying. It's no wonder picking up guys and slamming them against steel is easy to her. She's casually ripping apart fences. Her muscle can restrain punches from beings like Misty Knight who have cybernetic arms. Look how she rips open this metal wall and rips these metal restraints, tearing the arms off of Doombots, ripping car doors clean off, tossing scrolls through trailers, ripped a fire hydrant out of the ground and use it as a weapon, can literally pick up Dr. Octopus despite all the metal arms he got on him. She can just straight up throw people like footballs like ridiculously far. She's actually strong enough to lift up cars and sling it, meaning that it's nowhere near her max because she doesn't seem to be struggling here. This seems to be laughably easy. She's massively stronger than what her size would suggest when it comes to muscle. We literally see her wrestle things way bigger than her in size, but it's like their size doesn't matter working together with Kate. It was this dragon she was fighting and she can literally throw it with enough force to crack the wall. Jessica doesn't have the most flashy lifting feats, but based on her hierarchy on where she's supposed to be in raw muscle, in her power grid, she's literally a 4 out of 7 in strength. Yeah, I don't take these as Bible, but this is a good indicator that she's supposed to be strong. You're probably thinking, why does this matter? Well, she's a 4 out of 7. And Kingpin is a 3 out of 7, y'all. They're implying she's stronger than Kingpin. Yeah, Kingpin doesn't have superpowers, but Kingpin is ridiculously strong for no reason in Marvel. And he's still apparently a lower rank than her in muscle, considering what he's done to super soldier tier level beings like Captain America in raw muscle. Like, just put this in perspective. Her strength is apparently above his. I would make a fair estimation or guesstimation she should be able to lift at least 10 tons. Because when we look at Spider-Man's strength on the guidebook, he's a guy that can lift 10 tons bare minimally. We know he can lift more. Just take that ton crap with a grain of salt. We know he can do more than that, just a bare minimum. He's a 4 out of 7. I would think it's fair to say she could do something like this too. Because in Marvel, quote unquote, class 10 tonner beings, like Spider-Man can lift more than 10 tons, even though they say he's a 10 tonner. He's a 10 tonner class. I would say that's better to understand it better. He can lift more than 10 tons. He can lift even things that are 60 plus tons, like literal tanks themselves. But he's a 10 tonner, a 4 out of 7, just because a 4 out of 7 like this guy as well in muscle. Wouldn't you say her lifting this kind of weight is fair as well? Marvel is the same Marvel that be having 10 tonners support the weight of thousands of tons, like part of the Daily Bugle building, for example. That's what 10 tonners do. 10 tonners can lift thousands of tons apparently in Marvel, or support thousands of tons. Could she support thousands of tons as well if she's in the same strength tier, 4 out of 7, similar to Spider-Man's 4 out of 7? Wouldn't you agree she could technically be able to do that too if she was in the same situation to support the weight of the Daily Bugle building? I look at it like this: if her muscle can pin down Spider-Man level beings like Scorpion, keep in mind Scorpion is definitely a match for Spider-Man, bear hugging him to where he can't get free, for example. There's even some narration that say Scorpion is physically more powerful than Spider-Man, so Jessica overpowering Scorpion, she should be in that range. Spider-Man admits he could get squashed by him. Spider-Man believes that Scorpion is stronger than Goblin. If Spider-Man level characters can do this, why can't she? We've even seen her muscles clash with the Green Goblin, somebody else that's definitely Spider-Man tier. I mean, they literally call her a class 10 as well, just like Spider-Man tiers. I don't see why she wouldn't be able to do the same stuff. Let's see if all this adds up with the weight of her strikes. She got so much striking power, she can paralyze somebody with one knuckle. Matter of fact, the shockwave of her punch can knock out a group of mind-controlled folks. That's a lot of weight behind them hits. The weight of her hits, or shoves, seem to launch people so hard it craters walls they hit, launch people across the dance floor, and can punch beings through walls, like Kilgrave, for example, launching them to another wall and cratering it. I feel bad for any brick wall in her path. She's not a fan of locked doors. She has so much raw strength she can accidentally crush people in her day-to-day life, like shoving her hand through somebody's chest, for example. We actually see her do stuff like this, especially when she's talking about super soldier tears. She rips his heart out, for example. Her fingers can crack concrete, sticks, a tree and makes it split. Weight of her hits, punches somebody through the side of an ambulance, punches the launch beams and crater the ceiling, punches can cave in taxis. It's satisfying seeing her give Killgrave the work. Oh, don't give her a piercing weapon. It just makes her be able to cleave through them like butter. You know how hard you gotta hit somebody to demolish a couch? She can one-punch robots' heads off. There's beings that are multi-stories tall and can take hits from cars. But look at the weight of Jessica Jones' hits. Despite this being's massive size, I think this kind of proves she could probably level buildings. That much is honestly clear to me, but if you still have your doubts, you remember how earlier Hal was comparing her strength to Spider-Man and how her and Spider-Man both have a 4 out of 7 on strength? Well, we see Spider-Man punch one of his main villains, Tombstone, right here, for example, and hurt his hand. Tombstone counters. Oh, it's a common thing for Tombstone to tank hits from Spider-Man level beings. Not just Peter, but other Spider-Man level beings. Like spider clones. Yo, this is ludicrous. Look at Spider-Man punching Tombstone, hurting his hands. But look what happens when Jessica Jones hits Tombstone. You literally see blood. The weight of her hits made Tombstone sleepy. Just keep in mind that Tombstone is the type of guy that can withstand bullets and withstand rocket launchers, things that can destroy buildings. He can withstand those blasts. Blasts this big, he can withstand with no problem, y'all. Now, does it make a little more sense that Spider-Man has a 4 out of 7 and Jessica Jones also has a 4 out of 7 in strength as well? It's starting to make more sense to you now. Now, do you agree that if Spider-Man can support 1,000 tons, you could argue Jessica Jones can too? Because Marvel has established that lifting power for a lot of characters, their lifting or just super strength in general is the reason why they can hit hard. I think we all can agree Jessica Jones is one of those type of characters. Because of her super strength, she can hit hard. Marvel has even acknowledged when a character can lift a lot of weight, it translates to how hard they can hit. Even though this particular situation isn't Jessica Jones, it should apply. When a writer gives a character this level of strength, it's not for nothing. They can use it in combat. She's literally beating the crap out of beings that has the durability to withstand hits from Spider-Man. Spider-Man hurts his hands on Tombstone, but Jessica punches, kicks, knees this guy until he's drowsy. This kind of proves she has to be Spider-Man level symbiote tier or greater. If you believe Spider-Man is one of those characters that can support thousands of tons, even if he didn't support all this weight, even if he supported 1% of this, because we know a lot of people try to debunk this would still be 1,000-ton feat, even if you try to lowball it. Like, if you believe Spider-Man can lift thousands of tons, hit with that similar force because he can lift that much weight, he can punch with that same force or similar force, wouldn't you agree this should apply for Jessica Jones now after seeing all this evidence of her going to get Spider-Man level threats? Wouldn't this be evident that she should also be able to hit with over 1,000 tons of force based on these showings? It only makes sense, right? She's constantly shown to have the strength to literally go against beings that are the size of buildings, like Goliath. Like, you know that she's way stronger than what she appears. You see her making these beings bleed, hitting them to the ground, making these beings drowsy with her raw power. We've seen him get hit by Luke Cage. We've seen him get hit and recover from attacks that would have flattened a tank. And that's why this is impressive, Jessica Jones damaging Goliath. I mean, you can get an idea of his durability, what Jessica Jones is beating up, just by the sheer size these characters are, how big these characters can get. And she's still boxing, damaging these same large characters. Debatably, one of her best feats of all time is when Luke Cage was giant and demon possessed. She can hit hard enough to stagger him. Now, I will admit, it's confirmed that Luke Cage is a lot stronger than her, but thanks to her battle IQ and her strength not being weak, she was kind of able to fight off Luke Cage and you see the headlock, miraculously knocked him out, even though Luke Cage can withstand cars ramming into him like this and not flinch. Even though Jessica isn't stronger than him either, there's implications she's way above characters like Daredevil and Raw Muscle, because Daredevil can't hurt Luke Cage. Super soldier tears like Deadpool can't either. Heck, not even bazookas can. Even when buildings collapse on Luke Cage, he can still recover from it via durability. So while it is true that Luke Cage is stronger than her, stated in narration here, and she admits it, she still was miraculously able to get and pull this off somehow, despite his durability and just raw strength. Yeah, she can hit freaking hard, y'all. We've literally seen her punch out Spider tier characters like Spider-Woman. She could punch and make a localized earthquake and shake multiple buildings, if we're being honest. Buildings near each other, shake the whole block or close to the whole block, if we're being honest. We already know her hits can make shockwaves, so we see her make a shockwave here. Now, this was an off-guard feat. This feat would have been more impressive if she had her guard up trying to shield herself. It's still kind of cool that she knocked out a powerhouse tier, you could say, a powerhouse magic user, you could say, known as Scarlet Witch, made her sleepy. But yeah, don't take it too seriously. She was completely caught off guard, even stated in the comic. I wouldn't necessarily try to say she's Scarlet Witch level. This goes for her durability. She can withstand explosions this large. She's getting hit by these airships that can blow this building away or this warehouse. and she can get back up after this. Huge explosions like this. Yeah, you see what it does to vehicles. Oh, and she's okay. So while it is true, she's not necessarily bulletproof or knife proof. She's really resistant to blunt force damage. So that's why she can take hits from tanks like Emma Frost in her diamond form. Probably her most insane feat of all time. She literally got hit for miles by a being that had like a lot of the Sentry's abilities. But yeah, I'm not trying to compare to Sentry level beings or nothing. It's pretty clear narratively she's not meant to be on the level like this. But I guess you could say, yeah, she's strong, but she's not necessarily up there with the powerhouse. Like he just smiled off her hit here, gets punched through the building, but she still gets up. So that's still insanely impressive. She's been hit by powerhouses like Red Hulk, Hell Lord tier beings, like Hellstrom she's been hit by and retaliate. Due to her being in Marvel, there's certain characters that will hook her up with buffs. Jean Grey hooked her up with some psychic resistance type stuff in order to counter characters like Purple Man. You would be surprised on how skilled of a marksman she is, fighting alongside Elsa Bloodstone. You would be surprised on how good of a fighter she is. Like, she disarmed Kang, the Conqueror. Elsa threw something at her. She wasn't even looking and she caught it. I mean, sure, part of this could be because her strength is just vastly above these characters, but you can also say this is a mixture of her strength and skill to solo all these people. Imagine being restrained like this and you still are dodging this character known as the Spot's punches. Yeah, the Spot. From the Into the Spider-Verse movies, yes, that one. Part of the reason why she could hit so hard, you could argue because of her raw speed, because when she does fly, you could argue she can ram into you at amazing speed and hit hard because of the raw speed. I mean, we see her catch up to the Green Goblin here. People notice that her random sprinting speed is just fast, motorcycle level type fast. We've seen her blitz towards somebody that has a gun and she's still able to avoid the gunshot. It's not easy to tag her with bullets. How the heck did she dodge all of these spirits coming at her? Characters in her tier or even lower in Marvel, when it comes to dodging bullets, this kind of stuff is normal. Like, one of her opponents is able to like redirect bullets themselves with her fighting speed just to show how quick she is. But when she fights Jessica Jones has no problem keeping up with her in combat speed, implying that there's not a vast speed gap. And do we even need to get on the fact that she can keep up and tag Spider-Man tier beings that literally have precognition to where they know what they're about to get hit with, but you can still tag them? That shows her speed. Spider-Man characters literally have main villains like Electro. They have to compete and react to their lightning and such. And if she can compete box with Spider-Man tiers, you do the math. Even if you want to say Spider-Man is faster, that's fine. That's not really the point. The point is, even if she is a little bit slower, the fact that she's close enough to compete with beings that are used to competing with characters that have to shoot lasers at them, characters that have the speed of light on their side. Like, this is the consistent stuff Spider-Man tiers have to deal with. It's the same stuff with Daredevil tiers, Spider-Man tiers, vice versa. Like, we're talking about characters that can react in a millionth of a second, characters that can literally dodge the lightning, even if they're lower tiers than Spider-Man. Like, this is constant speed. Jessica is in this level of speed. We're talking about quicker than lightning level combat speed, y'all. For Pete's sake, we've seen her dodge hits from Thor, hammer swings. While she admitted she's nowhere near the level of Thor level beings, she still was able to dodge. Jessica's pretty cool, right? She was once a costume superhero. She sucked at it, so she decided to be a private investigator for her own firm. Don't lie. You liked her superhero costume. Newer comics reiterate what I just said about her, who she used to be, formerly known as Jewel. She has been many things: a superhero, a private investigator, wife, mother, friend, and more. Interesting piece about her you probably didn't know. 15 years ago, in the lore of Marvel Comics, she was portrayed as a quiet and awkward type of girl, and you wouldn't guess who she had a crush on. Freaking Parker. Jessica is actually there when Peter gets bit by a spider. Peter even reacts to the bite. But anyway, there's like a little family outing they was having. It was like a family trip, her brother, and her parents. But there was this military convoy that had hazardous material in it, and her parents and brother were killed. Jessica survives, but she was in a coma. She's the only survivor. She looks and sees Silver Surfer outside. She gets taken in by other family. That's when we see her manifest her powers, and all else is history. So just in case you made it this far in the video, you're wondering how she's doing all this stuff, that's why. Her powers are nothing like ridiculously flashy, just the standard stuff. Super strength, extra durability, you know. In a dream sequence, it looks like she has energy projection, like energy around her hands. We never really see her do this though, ever though. Like, it would be kind of cool if she had like straight up full-blown blast power. Here's a full page about her lore if you want to learn more about her. The main thing you need to know is that she likes Luke Cage. Do y'all respect her more? I hope you guys enjoy. She's not a heavy hitter powerhouse tier like Vision, Thor, and them, because every time, you know, fight these kind of beings, it seems like there's a large power gap in betrayal. But you don't have to be as strong as those guys to be insanely mighty. Regardless, what did you learn new? I want to hear your thoughts below. You probably didn't know she was that elite. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for the donations, everybody. Jessica Jones is pretty strong, ain't she? I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.